That would only slow me down.
Can we be of help? Bye.
Anything you need, just up. See ya.
The souls of these three. At last, our trio joins to become one foul spirit. Destroy that creature of darkness, and let us be rid of this place.
Return to Oriath and end this.
Was that earthquake caused by? Some sort of death shudder from that volatile beast? I've no thaumaturgical bone in my body, yet still I can sense the corruption seeping out of the cracks in that mountain. This can't be. Why would you disturb it to rest?
Hush now, sweetie. The situation is more complex than you would first think.
The Maraketh sat under the curse of the beast for thousands of years. They'd just gotten free, yet now you do something to bring the source of its darkness into our very presence. This is unconscionable. It's
the right choice. Would you rather a hostile reign of warring immortals? Our hero obviously has some kind of plan in mind. If this shift in the mountain can remove the gods from Рэкласта, then I, for one, am happy to be shook up a little.
Well, whatever the case, at least we have each other.
And we are strongest when we stand together.
See ya. Yes? See ya.
You're questioning me, the great sea mistress Lily Roth, about how she so happened to find you failing at drowning on some god-forsaken fleshy piece of land. Thought it'd be obvious. Grandfather and I, we came to thank you for our little reunion here you started. Caught wind that you were playing around up here with that dead beast from the locals. So we followed your trail, dreading we'd be finding your body bits strewn all over this godforsaken mountain. But lo and behold, what do we get? Our favourite exile twiddling their thumbs. Your lucky old Whalem's still got some thaumaturgical prowess in his bones. How the hell did you end up here anyhow? Well, I suppose you'll be wanting us to ferry you over to Oriath. Take care of that nasty cannibal god Katava once and for all? Well, we'd be glad to oblige. There'll be plenty of treasures in ruined Theopolis just sitting there for the taking, I'm sure. Say the words and we'll set the sails. Simon?
I ain't gonna lie to you, friend. You look like actual shite. Like a real big steamy pile of goat droppings. What in the bloody hell happened to you since we last crossed compasses? Well, never fear. Your favourite Captain Old Rottooth is here to save the day. I guess I owes you a bit on account of bringing Lily and I back together. As you can see, finally found the missing powder in me shot pouch. By that I mean my courage. Managed to make my way over to Lion Eye's Watch to see my granddaughter finally. Tell you, I don't know what in the blazes I was fretting about. She took to me like a fish to water. It was as if no time had passed at all. Anyhow, it'd be lucky for you that we did so, as we were out looking for you to offer our thanks. Followed me compass, listened to the thaumaturgical whisperings of my ship, and next we know, we'll be following a trail of blood and guts leading straight to you, wasting your time in the middle of God knows where.
Good tidings to you.
May humanity flourish. Now that I have both ingredients, I shall brew us a nice cup of what we need. There has never been a substance more corrosive than this, apart from my dear Garo Khan's sarcastic wit. Let us meet. Farewell.
There I was, tending to the animals when the ground moved beneath me. It was like the whole earth groaned in pain, a cry unlike I've ever heard. The mountain trembled, and for a moment it seemed as if death was due to visit us, here in Highgate. I don't know what you did, outsider, but I hope you did not hurt the mountain. She is our mother, and if a stranger were to wound her, I would slit their throat myself.
Yes?
By the gods, and by the death of gods, you still live. I don't know what you did, but I can sense something has shifted. A weapon has been discovered, perhaps, to turn the tide of bloodshed brought on by these sickening gods. Tell me, what did you find? No, I mustn't inquire, for fear of losing my mind as well as my eyes. Oh. I am struck by a peculiar yearning, Exile. It is as if I am a man stood on the precipice of a cliff, with an insatiable longing for the ground. Life will go on.
Good tidings to you. Ready to go? Just in time as well. Grandad says there's a good thaumaturgical headwind blowing our way. Well, once more, you owe me for letting you sail around on me ship. But that's okay. I'm the kind of gal who can play the long game. Sometime in the future, I'll be in need of your services once more. You can pay me back then. All right, come on. You got a job to do. Lives to save, gods to kill. Better get to it. That Bannon's a real siren if you ask me. Even after the beating he's taken. Bulging muscles, pretty yellow hair. I'd be willing to bet the barrel of his piece is longer than a ship's mast as well, if you be understanding me drift. It's a shame, in all honesty, that he's one of them foolish holy men. Though even that ain't so bad. Lily Roth loves herself a challenge.
Not much I can say about that raving monster. While he still breathes, it fares ill for all of us. There ain't no amount of ocean we can put between us and him that Kitava won't see as simply an extra jug of wine in his cup. Time and time.
Welcome ye Tauriath. Smell that fresh land lubber air. Ain't nothing like the air in Theopolis, full of debauchery and pollution, hidden neath the garb of them holy Templars. Seems the place has changed a fair bit since last I were here. A lot more blood and entrails than what I remember. Well, best Lily and I stay here, where it be safe. You journey on ahead, matey, and see what blimey buggers you get to kill next. Say, you're not in the market for a new cutlass or anything, are you? Recently unlocked the Black Crest's old armory. Found a whole shitload of weaponry down there from another time. If you fancy it, be glad to show you my stock. See if there's anything in there you'd like to pick up.
Good tidings to you.
Bugging me to the depths. Nah, there's a woman who can hold her own. Oh, hey, look at her. A marvelous specimen of the female persuasion. Aye, reminds me of Meredith, me long-lost sweetheart. Oh, would it be that I could have a woman like that at my side once more? Someone to stare out over the bow into the salt spray of the sea with. Someone to warm the cockles of me heart. And a few other things. Lousy, good-for-nothing blackguard. In all me years at sea, never have I ever serviced a filthy blackguard on my lovely ship. If the Brine King still drew breath, I tell you, having this Bannon aboard would be an affront to the Lord of Salt and Scale. Him and his kind have hung, thrown and courted too many of ours. I don't rightly trust him. Not at all. Me thinks Lily is fixing to have her way with that damn blackguard. Well, I tell you, not if I have anything to say about it. Look at me. Never thought I'd see the day when old Whalem were to be the prudish grandfather. Yet here we are. Damn conscience will be the death of me. Always.
Good tidings.
Good to see you. If you're thinking about dying, trust old Whalem.
The prodigal returns. Have you brought with you a weapon to free us? The ravenous one has only grown more hungry since you left us, and I fear your efforts may be too little, too late. Kitava has all but destroyed us here, and our poor departed Utula's cultists have taken hold of the city. There's little ground left to tread that won't cause the grasping claws of Hinekora to reach out and wring our pretty little necks. I see your eyes, exile. You wonder why I am here instead of at the Overseer's Tower. I'll tell you the horrible truth. The tower has fallen to the infernal devices of Kitava. That witch, Violenta, is to blame. She lowered a secret ladder and led Kitava's cultists right to our very beds. Bannon and I barely escaped with our lives. Together, we cut through the hordes, but it was no use. They had us surrounded. Bannon created a distraction which allowed me to flee. When I last saw him, He was perched atop the rooftops, holding off our enemies, though how long he will last, I cannot say. If you are going that way, perhaps you can find him and return him to me. I have grown fond of that Templar. The fire of Namahu burns within his belly. It would not fare well for... I believe Vailenta was not of sound mind. At night, we often heard her cry out in sleep, fearing unseen things. I wanted to toss her out on the streets, let the beasts of this fallen city tend to her madness. But Bannon refused to leave behind one of his own. Would that he had listened to me. Vailenta thought that if she gave us up to Kitava, the ravenous one would look kindly upon her. Well, look upon her he did. But what he saw and what she became is the thing of nightmares. Her nightmares, perhaps. In another life, perhaps Lily and I would have sailed the oceans together. I enjoy her presence and the conversation she brings. She has a call for adventure, coupled with a kind of optimism I rarely see. I hope that once all of this settles down, we might remain friends. I don't quite enjoy Whalem as much as I do his granddaughter, but Lily favors him, and so I will too, unless he does something truly horrid that forces me to revoke my opinion. A dark angel on your shoulder, perhaps? In another time, the presence of this god would trouble me, perhaps even frighten me. But in these days, I cannot afford the sensation of surprise. If he's helped you this far, as you say, then one might expect he will help you all the way to the bitter end, and that is good enough for me. Kitava's appetite has grown bigger than even his devotees had expected. His hunger moves faster now than his followers can keep up. I suppose the canals were the perfect answer to their problem, really. They converted them into one giant feeding trough to bring food to his mouth at a speedier rate. Before their god rose from the depths, Utula and his cultists had direction. They wished to see Kitava free to stage his horrifying banquet. I was foolish enough to believe these theological mumblings as symbols for Kadui freedom. Now that their prophecies have come to fruition, the cultists have lost their minds. It's hard enough to believe the end times of your chosen religion will ever happen, let alone to last longer than the final pages of your holy book. For freedom. Yes. For freedom. Yes? For freedom.
It is good to see that you survived, my friend. But then, you have fared far worse. The froth of a violent ocean should be no problem for you. While we have been absent, Oriath has become a necropolis, a swarm of Kitava's wretched servants. The situation looks more dire than I had first anticipated. Before we make our move, we must know what we are dealing with. I send you, Exile, as a scout. As the only scout that would stand a chance moving through the shifting forms of this nightmare. You must discover where Kitava resides. You needn't fret. The Dark Ember is still safely in my possession, and will remain so until our final confrontation with Kitava. That carnivorous blasphemy will fall like a log cut from the darkest of forests. and we shall watch him burn, as Oriath and the rest of this world breathes a sigh of relief. Lily Roth is a noble... how do you say it? Scallywag? I have witnessed the rise and fall of many great men and women over the eons, and Lily is well on her way to being amongst the very best of them. I suspect one day her name shall be sung in salty taverns the world around. I must remember to keep on her good side, now that she can see me. The beautiful pirate princess hunting down the great god Sin would make for a fantastic tale, I'm sure. But one I would rather have remain in the pages of fiction. Aside from my own presence, I no longer feel the vibrations of other gods. Though there may yet be more out there, for now, Рэklasta can breathe a sigh of relief. However, we must turn our sights to Kitava, who still gorges himself on those poor souls trapped in Oriath. You have drunk your fill of my kind. The essence of deity courses through your veins, waiting to be expunged upon a chosen victim. We can only hope it will be strength enough to face that demoniac of a god. Farewell.
Good tidings.
Good to see.
Freedom comes.